This program is compressed, but it is professional and it is packed with good things.
We all have something in common.
Everybody's been literally treating us like kings and queens.
I could say that this program is so awesome.
The EBV networks you with people that you never even thought you'd even come in contact with.
The staff has been amazing.
There's no dull moment. It is focused on getting us ready to do the kind of things that we want to do.
The problem is of a greater magnitude than we've ever known before, because we have increased body armor, increased armor plating and vehicles, things that allow soldiers to survive where they wouldn't have survived before. And they come back to the States, they come back to their communities, and now they're struggling with both transition back to civilian life, but also a personal identity struggle. And so part of this program is designed at helping them form a new identity, help them to see the world differently. They no longer have to view themselves as a sailor or as a soldier or a Marine. They can see themselves as an entrepreneur. I went up there as a guest speaker, and I came back from that experience back to Florida State and said, wow, I have to try to replicate this here at Florida State. The first day is met with a lot of anticipation. We know all the names very well. We know where they're coming from, what branch of service. We know everything about them, but we haven't met them yet. So that first day is just a buzz with excitement. We have some ROTC cadets come from the university and join us at waiting for them at the airport. It's like meeting an old friend that you've never met before, if you can imagine that. So these men and women come off, and we have a sign held up with their name. They come over, there are hugs, there are handshakes. It's just instant camaraderie, instant friendship, and it's a bit of a festival. We have news cameras and reporters there, and so it's a bit of excitement. But you can see in these veterans' eyes the look of, oh my gosh, what have I got myself into? I wasn't expecting all of this. And they pretty much do not come up for air for 9 days. And then they pretty much have to go change into a business suit and head out for our opening ceremony. And the opening ceremony is at a nice country club where we invite out all of the supporters and donors, people that have helped us in any way, come out to welcome these veterans around a nice dinner and some nice music.
I loved everything about the program, but that was my favorite because we actually got to see some of the sponsors face to face, and we were introduced to the professors that are contributing to the program. Good food too.
You really see the impact that first evening when they start to realize this is first class, this is no joke, this program's a real deal. This year we brought in J.R. Martinez, who came through the program in our opening year. J.R. was injured in a IED on a Humvee, and he has permanent burn scars as a result of his injury.
It's just amazing how in 6 years since my injury, my life has really changed, and it's because I've been given the tools to kind of succeed and to do something different with my life with what I was given unexpectedly, which is exactly what is happening this week at Florida State, with the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for veterans. They're given tools that they never knew about to be able to succeed in life after the military.
He came to our program wanting to create himself in the image of a motivational speaker to where he could earn a living delivering his message. He's been very successful. In fact, now he's on All My Children as a cast member playing an injured vet. But he came out to our program and delivered a message that just really resounded with these veterans. And the message is never quit, don't give up.
Whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, set one for yourself. Because this week, you're going to be given tools that you never thought you would be able to get. I've been able to meet so many graduates from Syracuse to Florida State and others that I've been able to talk to just briefly, and the things that they are doing now with their lives. But you have to understand one thing. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen when you leave Tallahassee, Florida, and you go back to your hometown. It's not going to happen the day after that. The cold reality is it may not happen a year or two from now. But you have to be patient and you have to persevere. These people believe in you. They chose you. There's over 300 applicants to come to this program, and there's only 19 of you here today. They believe in you. Dream, stand up, and execute. Thank you very much. It was a privilege.
The day consists of maybe 4 or 5 different guest speakers that range from experts on franchising to an entrepreneur themselves that have just started a business and are there to tell their story.
One of the things I'd really encourage you to do is start to research within your own state, because self-employment varies a lot state to state.
I love the way those guys teach.
Are they going to come around once a year and spend a day or two with you?
My favorite event has been listening to those lectures.
They weren't just speaking slides, they were speaking to us. And they were looking to see if they could draw us in.
When you get somebody to talk like that, to talk on your level, and he relates it to what you know, all right, it becomes a part of you where it sticks and you don't forget it. So when he asks a question, oh yeah, I know that. It's like, wow, it's eye-opening.
The learning is fast and furious, very intense, long days. They do a great job. Sometimes their injuries prevent them from sitting still for a long time. They have to stand up, walk around, take a break. Some of them are in constant pain, back pain, so we do have to accommodate their disabilities, but the days are long without apology. We don't use the term boot camp lightly.
They've connected with us and they've shared and they've kind of given us just that little bit that I needed, to really connect the dots.
We try to pull out all the stops and go out and get the expert, the best person we can to present on the topic that we need presenting.
You don't want the opportunity to lose. I grew up in an entrepreneurial family. Business was part of our discussions over dinner every night. Servicemen and women are some of the most can-do, gung-ho people you'll ever meet. They are early risers, the last ones to go to sleep. They are the kind of people that, well, quite frankly, win wars. In business, in my opinion, if you do everything wrong, you'll fail. If you do everything right, you still have to get lucky. I have no doubt that these men and women are going to do everything right. The truth is, chances are, on one of these iterations of their own business, they will not succeed. Most people don't succeed on the first try. This is a very difficult thing to do, to build your own business, to be an entrepreneur. But I have a lot of confidence in this group that if they stick with it and they learn and they continue to grow, they continue to educate themselves, the sky's the limit. I'm honored to be here. Absolutely honored to be here. And I understand there's a program in UCLA. I'll be looking to get involved in that one too.
The dedication of the staff here to doing the right thing and to presenting really good information to us, not wasting our time, their dedication is at the top. Then what I've also witnessed is the assistants, the helpers that have stepped in and volunteered their time. I know they could be doing other things, but I think they feel a sense of service too when they do that. And that's a neat thing.
The other schools that run this program do it with a professional staff, event planners, folks that work out of entrepreneurship centers full time. We didn't have the luxury of that at Florida State, so I turned to my students.
If you work for someone that is emphasizing the team and they're in fact a leader, it's great.
I don't actively solicit volunteers, so I don't stand in front of class and say, I really need your help, I need someone to volunteer. I just tell the story, and invariably, one or two students will come up after class and say, I would like to get involved, this sounds like something I'd be very interested in. They have to really show that they're self-motivated, that they're not doing it because they think it'll impress me as their professor or for just telling me what I want to hear. I push them away a couple of times gently and see if they come back. And those that do come back are coming back for the right reasons. They're wanting to get involved in this because it means something to them, because they really feel a yearning and a desire to help in this capacity. And so far that process has served me well. We bring them out to our football stadium for a tailgate, even though it's not football season. We actually take them down on the field. Our athletic director, Randy Spetman, arranged for some footballs to be down on the field. We had their names, the branch of service that they served in, their hometown, flashing up on the Jumbotron screen. And they're running around on the football field with each other or just walking on the grass. And then we had our football team, our varsity squad, come out and meet them, and they were able to get autographs and shake hands and tell stories, and it was an amazing experience.
The Seminole Stadium, that was beautiful. We were throwing a football, and then the players all of a sudden just came out of nowhere. Some of the guys that's going to be starting for the new season. So I was very excited to introduce myself to them and take pictures. You know, that's memories that's priceless.
I played football at KU, and I was talking to those football players out there. And I realized that when I told them, yeah, I played football Division I for a while, and I thought, that was in 1971. They couldn't even relate, what it was like in 1971. It was just really neat to go into the stadium with everybody, and we threw the football around, and I saw people limping and, people with bad shoulders and everything, but they were excited and still throwing the football around. So that was, it probably was the highlight. But we got to talk to them and do a little bit of mentoring.
So you guys are like the most dangerous guys in the world right now, right? You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Cool? There you go. There you go. Hey, can I keep this football? I'm asking. Can I keep this football? Thank the football players for coming out. Appreciate it. Let's go eat. All right.
Take them up for a tailgate where we essentially anoint them as Seminoles. One vet from the first year who graduated from Duke said he was now a Seminole, which was pretty profound. And I'm getting lots of emails now after every game from these veterans, so they are clearly, they've become Seminoles.
So how's the program going so far?
It's awesome. I mean, definitely worthwhile. Meeting great people, learning a lot, and hoping to, launch my business here within the next year, 2 years. I'm looking at taking an old Army concept, the auto hobby shop, and make it into, or creating the civilian version of it, which is the auto hobby shop. It's a self-help shop where you can go fix your car, rent the tools, and do the whole thing, yourself, basically.
Opening up a franchise, there's one called Play and Trade, that you heard about. What's nice about it is that you go in the store, it's a good place just to hang out at the same time. It's almost like GameSpot, but it's going to be better, a lot better.
But when you look death in the face and you go, wow, life is really simple. Why am I worried about a car payment?
Think about it. Even people in our class, they dealing with so many things that's going to help us, stay connected with each other to help us out with everything that we have to do. I love it.
I've embraced the whole program and the people around me, and then really try to just meet, make friends and network as much as possible. Some of the people I met here, I probably have long-lasting friendships with them.
All right, now I need help. Get motivated. Thank you.
Our restaurant that we were eating at was essentially across the parking lot from our hotel. So we were walking back to the hotel, and one of the veterans came up to me and said, "Have you noticed the flag at the hotel?" And I have to admit I had not, but I could see it from where we were walking. So I looked over at the flag, and it was obviously tattered, faded, and pretty poor shape. And so several days later was Flag Day. And so they staged a retiring of the old flag and a raising of the new flag ceremony in front of the hotel, in between thunderstorms.
As a soldier, it's not a decision. It's just a duty. That flag was torn. For me to just look at that flag and say, I'm just going to let it go by, I can't do that. You see the red, white, and blue all over the world. In any part of this country and any part of the world except ours, that means something. To a soldier, that means something. I have friends who are buried under that flag, who gave the ultimate sacrifice to defend this country, to defend their wives and their kids, to say, my life, it's not about me. The sacrifice is worth it. It's worth to die for.
I've given many, many talks and briefings over my career. Probably the most notable to me were the ones I did after 9/11. And I said it then, and I said it tonight, as we took down a tattered flag on Flag Day of all times and put up a new flag that we all had a part in. I said it tonight, that it's not about serving in uniform. It's about serving your country. And that comes from here.
Dismissed.
The graduation ceremony is the culmination of the entire 9 days. We see different people in our veterans. We see different attitude. We see new identity emerging.
The men and women that you see before you have pushed through the crowds of inaction and the torrents of excuses to do something for themselves, for their families, and for their communities. They have spent the last few weeks working diligently to achieve these goals. They have not let the injuries of service and the wounds of battles past cull them into a sense of self-pity or doubt. They have the tenacity to fight the good fight, and they will leverage their experience with the EBV program to realize the full potential of their dreams.
We open up the ceremony with a table setting for prisoners of war missing in action. Our ROTC cadets actually set the table.
Let us remember the United States Navy, honored by Cadet Anthony McKee.
As they're setting the table, we bring in a bagpiper who starts to play Amazing Grace from some back room, so we don't even see him at first. We just hear the bagpipe start to play.
Let us remember the men and women, prisoners of war from all branches of service, that are too often forgotten. Let us remember them.
extend to you a warm welcome for joining us at the graduation ceremony of our second graduating class of the Entrepreneurship Bootcamp for Veterans with Disabilities program. And as you may know, our EBV program is the only one among the consortium of schools that is not endowed. So each year we have to fundraise in order to make this program happen. And I personally, and I know the vets here in the room, are very thankful for your generosity. So let's give our sponsors and donors.
The ceremony ends with a presentation of certificates, and from that point on, the veterans are essentially transitioning back to their hometowns, hopefully with the motivation and knowledge to make a change in their life.
The ideas that I intended to pursue have come to life through this program. It's really put me on my way.
Once that tour is over, you take that uniform off, you hang it in the closet. Now you have experiences that no other employee that you're going up against in a job could ever muster up. And add that to the academic education that you got from this college. Put that all together, and that makes you just one hell of an American.
I am just reinforced now and just can't wait to hit the road and be in action on my business plan. And then just to give back to the program. I support this 100%. I've already pledged my time, so I'm on tape now that there's this EBV, they've got my full support.
I know that everything that we've learned here, I can go out and do something productive with myself and for the community.
I would highly, highly recommend for all the service members, all the veterans, to ensure they partake in this EBV program at some stage in their lives. You're going to not only network with a whole bunch of veterans that have a lot in common with you, but you're going to feel, appreciated. There's going to be a lot of genuine people that's going to actually embrace what you stand for and who you are. And the program is just amazing.